Volkswagen is readying the launch of one of its most anticipated performance models in years. This is the 2022 Volkswagen Golf R. It officially lands in showrooms in late April and it debuts the much talked about drift mode. Now we're going to be driving this machine in a couple of weeks, but before then we've been afforded a sneak peek. Let's see what it's all about. The Golf R will be available in Australia in both hatch and wagon form. Here we have the former finished in lapis blue. It cuts a pretty striking presence in the skin, if I'm honest. Lots of blue on this car with the body coloured panels, gloss black, and of course the signature blue which is integrated into the car's front lighting. Now, Australian spec vehicles will come fitted standard with the R Performance package, which bundles things like the Matrix LED headlights, the Estoril lightweight 19-inch alloy wheels, the big rear wing, and of course a couple of extra driving modes, which I'll get to in a second. Under the bonnet, the Golf R employs a familiar EA888 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine. Outputs are now listed at 235 kilowatts and 400 newton metres. The first lot of Australian cars won't be fitted with a petrol particulate filter, but I'm told watch this space because later this year that is likely to happen with the advent of the Golf R Plus. Now that vehicle could have up to 245 kilowatts and 420 newton metres. In any case, it shuffles drive to all four wheels via an 8-speed automatic transmission, and it also debuts, of course, the much vaunted drift mode. It uses twin clutch packs on the rear wheels, which means you can basically apportion a lot of the power to the rear outside wheel, a la Ford Focus RS or Mercedes AMG A45, which means you get drifting. There are some pretty substantial changes inside the cabin of the Golf Mark 8, and if I'm honest, I think that's where the Golf R really starts to justify its $65,000 price positioning. Nappa leather chairs, head-up display, big paddle shifters, and really nice materials throughout the cabin. It is really well executed in the skin. Now this car of course features the latest generation of Volkswagen infotainment and the latest software. From the outset, it looks like a fairly minimal kind of setup, but once you do learn a lot of the configurations inside the screen, the menus, the sub-menus, you're able to actually configure this car quite nicely and kind of personalise it to the way you like it, things down to the ambient lighting. Just like your phone, you can scroll down and create shortcuts in the screen as well. Things like air recirc function and things like that, which means you don't really have to play with the screen while you're on the move. The other big talking point with this car is of course its new driving modes, drift mode and Nürburgring mode. Both of those allow you to hold a gear, which is one of the real annoyances with the Golf GTI. It would automatically upshift or downshift when you didn't want it to. And you can also have different levels of ESP intervention as well, which bodes really well for circuit driving. That is the 2022 Volkswagen Golf R in a nutshell. Stay tuned in the coming weeks as we put this new machine through its paces both on-road and circuit. In the meantime, Volkswagen Australia already says it has 8,000 expressions of interest for the new car, and it looks as though the first allocation is pretty well exhausted. They do assure us that there's more stock coming online in the coming months. Either way, this car looks a treat and it really has set tongues wagging.